In the last lesson I showed you how you could take a window and move it around by dragging somewhere at the top, somewhere where there's not a button to click, like in a space like this, and drag it and move it around. This is how you can position windows to be where you want on the screen. You could also resize windows. To do this, grab any edge or any corner. So for instance, I can grab the right edge of this window here. Notice when I do, my pointer changes to indicate that I can now click and drag the right side. You can do the same thing, say, on the bottom here. You can also do it with a corner. It drags two sides like that. So you can resize a window very easily. If you were to double click on any edge like this, notice how it jumps to snap to the right side. I'll drag it back here like this. You can do that with the corner as well. Double click and it will jump so the corner goes as far to the corner as it can. The dock being a little bit in the way there, just as the menu bar would be in the way here at the top. If you hold the Option key down and double click, it will do the side and the opposite side. And if you hold the Option key down and double click any corner, it will do that corner and the opposite corner, effectively moving all four sides of the window to the edges of the screen. When you have multiple windows, you may want to position them according to where each other is located. So I can take a notes window like this. You'll notice how I've got this Finder window here. If I move to the edge, it actually snaps to it. So it will pause there as I move, and only after I get a certain distance will it continue, which makes it very easy to bring a window right up to the edge and always have it match where that window is. Now sometimes the contents of a window, like this Finder window here, mean that you can't see all of the content at once. That means you can scroll using two fingers on your trackpad or one finger on the surface of an Apple mouse. So two fingers on my trackpad, I can scroll to the left and right like that. In cases where it's a long list, like let's say this, you can see I can scroll up and down and left and right also. Notice the scroll bars that appear here. I can click and drag those like you could old-fashioned scroll bars on operating systems from years past. But then when you don't need them, they go away to maximize the amount of space for displaying information. There are other things you could do with Windows as well. For instance, you may already be familiar with clicking the green button and thinking about that as maximizing the window. But that's not exactly what it does. What it does is it takes the app to full screen mode, which is something we'll look at later. So this window here is now full screen and is separate from other windows. There's nothing actually behind this and you can't bring windows in front of it. Let's exit this. And instead we can hover over the green button here and we could see other options when we click. And there's tile window to left, tile window to right. This will actually do split view, which we'll also look at in a minute. But if you hold down the Option key, then you could see move window to the left side of the screen, which simply resizes the window to make it fit here. Now I can go to this notes window. I can click here, hold down, and use the Option key and move this to the right side of the screen. So notice how neatly these two windows fit. One taking one half of the window, the other taking the other half of the window. I didn't have to position them manually. I just used the green button. You could also go to Window and notice how you have the two tiling options here with the Option key down. Then you have Move. So I can move this to the right side of the screen since it already was. If it's somewhere in the middle like this, you can see I've got both options. And the Option key will allow me to move to the left or to the right side of the screen.